is going on? Heavy Pour Sports Happy Hour, SEC recap, like it says. Let's talk some ball. We'll get into the SEC tournament. We'll get into probably a good time to go ahead and wrap up the whole season as we officially have ended the SEC play and are waiting for the bracket reveal on Sunday. Hammer, me and you in the same boat today, unfortunately. Watch our teams fight, but ultimately come out losing on Friday. How you feeling aside from the game? Just SEC tournament play, kind of crazy all around college basketball right now. Teams winning at the buzzer, teams losing that we didn't expect. How you feeling about this postseason run as we start, I guess, second week of March?
Yeah, I didn't necessarily think last year kind of proved what I'm about to say, and I kind of felt this way going into the seeding lines and projections, things like that this year, that there won't be too many Cinderella stories, right? Like, because NIL has just widened that gap between the haves and the have-nots, the Power Fours and the mid-majors. But we're seeing some crazy stuff in tournament week. I mean, even as recently tonight as Ole Miss knocking out Alabama of the SEC tournament. So sometimes it's not necessarily even about talent as it is figuring it out at the right time. And there's some teams that are doing that. Unfortunately for both of us, that didn't happen for either one of us. I think that's about what I expected, though, from both, unfortunately. So at this point, the only thing left to do is kind of try to figure some things out, solve some problems that we need to address. And at least as far as Tennessee is concerned, I think we need to get a favorable draw and be on guard, because very easily could run into one of these buzzsaw mid-majors or, middle-tier Power 4 teams that is getting hot right now. I think Kentucky's got a little bit better chance to go deeper in the tournament than Tennessee does, but we'll see.
Yeah, I think draw is going to be huge. I mean, just wave tops. We'll get into like the depths of each game. I think T's going to join us here once he's full on daddy duty right now, putting the kids down. But I didn't have expectations of winning. I had hope of winning against Florida. That is the not ideal team to play when your third game in 3 days. They're physical, and I do look forward to diving deep into SEC officiating and Doug Shows, because Lord have mercy. And even in your game, it's blaming refs for wins and losses. I hate this phrase, the coping thing. I understand that, but at some point you got to identify that it's just bad all the way around, and it can't have an effect in game, especially when SEC commissioner is out there talking about, on the stage of how sports gambling and there's too much on the line for these kids to, whether they make or miss a free throw, if someone covers and the stuff they're getting. Well, maybe take a look at who you're hiring to officiate the games, because they should maybe have some accountability as well.
Yeah, I think that's the key word, is the accountability. I mean, I understand, and I'm old, so I've seen a lot of situations and blown calls, missed calls, whatever the situation was. But it seems to be getting now to a point where I won't say blatant, but it's very egregious. The level of poor officiating has reached, and there's no accountability, at least none that we see. And we see the same crews that make the same calls. I mean, keep running out there every single week. So, I've never been one to blame officiating for wins and losses, but it's certainly having impacts on how these things are playing out. And I watch primarily SEC. SEC officiating is horrible, but I'm sure it spans across all of the conferences and college basketball. So,
well, I had people, commenting. My Doug Show's tweet has taken off because there's the majority of BBN who feels the same way. But Arkansas fans, now they have Calipari. They were in my comments agreeing as well. And then there was even some comments of like, how can you claim to be the best conference in college basketball, which I think a lot of us do, from top to bottom.
Yeah, we're not, but that's okay.
Maybe okay, but I think I'll at least argue it. But they're like, how can you claim that when you have the worst officiating team? And I'm like, brother, we asked the same questions, and I don't know what conference this dude supported, but it was a good point of like, you can't claim to be the best all the way around, in play and whatnot when you legit, like you said, trot the same dudes and stripes out there on the floor consistently, and they consistently make terrible calls in really costly situations, and the biggest thing is the inconsistency for me, right? You can't have such a disparity between first half and second half. You can't have a disparity between one team or the other. If you're going to let guys play, you let them play, and teams have to adjust. If you're going to call everything the whole game, and teams have to adjust, right? But you can't sit there and be super lax first half, and then the second half you're stacking up, and you're in the for your game, you're in the double bonus with 7 minutes left on both sides. It's like it's truly insane. It's got to be worked out, but it won't be, because like I said, there's no accountability. There's not accountability in the NBA, but at least there's the 2-minute report that comes out, and it's like, yeah, we screwed this up. Now what does it do for you in the long run? But it at least identifies that yes, there are problems, and if there's not going to be accountability, then these guys are going to go out there and keep doing what they're doing. And it's like weathermen, right? They don't have to actually be accurate. They just got to get out there on TV and know how to work the green screen. So as long as these dudes know how to blow a whistle, they'll still get paid.
It's the only two professions, well, I guess outside of prostitution, where you can suck and still keep a job.
Zing! Nice. Very good. Very good. But let's we'll get into our specific games, but going around college basketball landscape right now, you got UConn pretty much handling Georgetown. These are current games. Michigan State losing UCLA.
Yeah, I think it's plus 3,000. It's 3,000 or 4,000 on UCLA to win the Big Ten. I'm checking it right now to see what it is exactly. It was just a guts plus 4,000. So $10 bet pays $400. But I also have a ticket on Michigan State to win the Big Ten tournament. So one way or the other, damn it, I'm at least going to survive another day.
Yeah, survive a day
with that bet. But that's a little surprising. I kind of like the way UCLA's played down the stretch, and you never know what you're going to get out of Mick Cronin. So it's entertainment if nothing else. But yeah, I'm a little surprised. 11-point lead at halftime for the Bruins.
And it rarely comes all the way to fruition, but like you mentioned about Ole Miss, these teams who know it's win the whole thing or your season's over. There's some desperation there, and it's tough to account for that. But it's I equate it to the new coach bump in the NFL, right? It's like there's something about it where it's just you can bet on it almost every time. There's going to be at least a cover or maybe even a crazy win you don't expect, because the team just kind of wakes up that one time, or tendencies are broken so that you don't really know how to catch it. And I think some of these college basketball coaches who know they got to win the whole tournament to get to the dance, they're like, hey, what we've been doing all year hasn't been working, so let's just throw that away. Let's just try something new. And sometimes it sticks. But Houston over Kansas right now, they were doubled up, but Kansas is making a little bit of a run, only down 6 at the moment. And then we have the Oklahoma-Arkansas game going now, and I would expect Arkansas to win this one. I don't know if they run away with it, but they're I think too good of a team, and Darius Acuff's too good of a guard for Oklahoma to sneak up on them. But it wouldn't be the first time John Calipari drops one early in a tournament game. So, but those are the games we have active now. close games, good games throughout the early slate of college basketball. Michigan and Ohio State and Wisconsin, Illinois were both great games.
Yeah. I like this. I like this Whiskey team. I think I don't know about win. I think they can give Michigan a fit and maybe cover that number.
What is the number? Do you know?
It's 12.5.
That's a bunch.
That's a lot of points. It's a lot of points for a very scrappy Wisconsin team.
Yeah, and Illinois late in the season was a lot of folks Elite Eight, Final Four darling. I think they're probably a solid 2 seed. I would imagine, maybe 3, depending on. I really don't know their quad 1 wins, but a top 10 team going into tournament play.
I kind of, not to get off on this tangent, we can certainly do that at some point, but I'll interject it here. I think Illinois, Michigan State both were two seeds coming into the tournament, the Big Ten tournament. I don't know if Illinois' loss will keep them there. Michigan State, I think, has done enough to stay there if they were to lose this game to UCLA, but Iowa State certainly would probably jump up there if Illinois, or now that Illinois is lost, that could really hurt them in seeding. Because there's not much difference between like a 5 and a 6 or an 8 or a 9. There's a big difference between a 2 and a 3.
Yeah, I mean it's especially to get past the Sweet 16, right?
Yes.
Who you're playing?
Yes.
Let's see what else. That game was great in overtime, 3-point. I did not see Ohio State keeping it close.
I didn't either.
I think they weren't they up most of that game or a good portion of that game against Michigan. I didn't see that coming, but again, another desperation team in the tournament.
Yeah.
And it's not football rivalry, but there is a school rivalry there where other teams going to get up for it and play a little harder than maybe you expect.
Yeah, and Ohio State actually played better down the stretch and given some teams some problems, but I didn't think this one would be that close. But Michigan's, I won't say laid a couple eggs, but they've had issues. They flirted with some losses throughout the season, so that's why they're on my short list, but I will not bet them to win the NCAA tournament.
No, and I think unless Duke is able to really figure out, they're handling Clemson right now by 10.
Yeah.
Maybe they can figure out, but guard play is big in March, and they've lost their main guy, one of their main guys in for the rest of the year, and it's going to be a lot for Boozer to carry this team. We'll see if he can do it. But yeah, that's going to be a tough one. I think they're in a moment now where if a team can figure out how to really shut him down, they might get bounced earlier than expected. And then the Iowa State Arizona game, that was a great game. And that last shot, there was no chance that thing was going in until when I thought I was okay, here we go, overtime. And that thing dropped. Damn near hit the rafters before it came down, but that was a great game. But Arizona pulls it off to get to the final of the Big 12 tournament. And then to wrap up, Ole Miss beating Alabama. I mean, we hit on a little bit, but I mean, Alabama is one of those teams where, live by 3, die by 3. And when you come into that gym and you haven't played in a while, it can get on you. And their defense, not great. So you could see them getting got. But I personally would not have laid money on Ole Miss getting out. And even at halftime when they were down 5 and late in that game, when Phylon goes to the free throw line, they're only down 1. I was like, man, Ole Miss just pissed this one away. They found a way to get it done, and they continue, and their postseason life continues and still has life. And shout out, old Travis Perry was in there to finish the game. Kentucky, great.
Yeah.
So who would have thought early in the season that it'd be Travis Perry getting the furthest from anybody, former Cat in the SEC tournament.
Yeah, that was a shock. I know Alabama is their defense is just basically non-existent. Like they just don't play defense, but they struggled mightily, and it's and it's tough. I mean, playing these neutral site games, all the sight lines are different, atmosphere is different, and lighting. I mean, everything. So you don't adapt, then that's what happens.
Yep, and Ole Miss surprises, and you finally AJ Storr was a big get for them coming into the season. He's actually he's coming off the bench, but still getting 26 minutes. I think he's played to what they thought they were getting, but he had a good game today. And again, Travis Perry with the quiet 7 points, 3 of 9 from the field, 1 of 3 from 3, and 6 rebounds. Shout out to the Lyon County boy.
Don't tell Richie though, because Richie bet Alabama, and it was kind of a insult to injury that Travis Perry was out there scoring points, so he wasn't happy.
Yeah. Oh man. And small caveat now. I don't know how much of an impact Travis Perry would have had on this team.
Probably not much.
Even being down a point guard. But I will say to the folks of Big Blue Nation who are quick to say we don't want J-Lo back, even though J-Lo made the comment of that he's coming back. Let's keep that in mind, right? Just to have a serviceable point guard already committed to the team at this point, not knowing what the portal is going to bring, and knowing that the last 2 seasons are, bugaboo has been not having a true point guard healthy. Let's appreciate that we have at minimum a serviceable point guard coming back who, yes, is coming off of injury, but hopefully is one that's not going to cause him to miss more time. He's got a full offseason, get healthy. I'm excited he's coming back. I would be okay if we go and get a elite point guard, or a combo guard who can play both, and he comes off the bench. I think that's perfectly fine. But just to know that he's solidified on this roster is big, in my opinion.
Yeah. Well, there was a contingent of Big Blue Nation last year that, and one in particular who I won't name because I'm not going to give him credit, who tweeted out almost daily, "Thank God we didn't get Chaz Lanier." So you can't always put a lot of stock in what the general populace has to say and how they feel about certain player coming or going or whatever, because they tend to be wrong a lot.
Yeah. Emotional takes never really.
They never age well.
No.
They never age well. Just ask Georgia baseball fans.
It's and that's funny because it even goes back to we talked about this on one of the shows when we were super excited that we got Justin Edwards to leave Tennessee. Because he was a heavy Tennessee lean and commit for Pope. I'm sorry, commit to Cal, and who you got out of the portal instead of Justin Edwards. The mass man himself, Dalton Connect. Right. So who won that one? Unfortunately, Tennessee did.
Big time.
Yeah, you never really know what you're getting. It's silly. I mean, we'll transition to Florida, Kentucky, because you look at not being able to know what you get in the portal and going solely off of rankings. These dudes who are putting in big minutes for Florida were like top 150, 200 guys when they came to Florida. Yeah. Condon is now, you could argue that he should have been SEC Player of the Year over Acuff. But if Florida's win today, or if there was any question about NCAA seeding and who your top 4 ones were, and if there was a question if maybe UConn still deserved it, I think Florida pretty much wrapped that one up today.
Yeah. Well, I'm not a I told you so kind of guy, but I've been saying for 3 or 4 weeks now, Florida's going to be the fourth 1 seed. Everybody keeps talking about how it's UConn or it's Iowa State or it's Houston or it's whoever. Right here on this very program, I have said Florida is going to watch Florida. You better watch Florida. Florida could steal that 1 seed. And here we are. And it's that front court is they are almost as solid of a group as I've ever seen. And I hate it, but it is what it is. I don't know who beats them. Seriously, I don't know who can beat them.
Yeah, I think if someone does beat them, I will argue that you could put on the film from today's game and the game plan that Pope had and say this is the way we can beat them, right? You can pressure the ball. Their guards are good, but they're not elite.
Correct.
Boogie Flan, very good. Lee, very good. But
he wasn't very good today.
No, he wasn't. And Lee hit that dagger 3 as we made a run that really kind of solidified the game. That was tough. He put old Jasper Johnson on skates and hit that step back. Hell of a shot, and he had some big ones in both the previous matchups as well. But if dudes like Calazar is the foreign cat who can shoot threes and you get hot, 6th man of the year, I believe, in the SEC. If you can keep him quiet, coming off the bench and not being a scorer, and you can challenge the front court just slightly, you can beat Florida because they turn the ball over. They try to play fast. If you get them to speed up a little bit, they aren't super composed. And we did that today. 18 turnovers, shooting 36% from the field, 22% from 3, and you're still in that ball game. The problem is if someone is going to try to install that recipe to beat Florida, you have to also rebound the ball because that's where they will kill you. And what happened for us today is we got 18 turnovers, but we weren't great as far as turning those turnovers into points.
Yes, Tennessee.
Actually, we were terrible at making those turnovers into points. And you could say offensive rebounds equal turnovers, and those offensive rebounds for Florida resulted in points.
And they had twice as many as Kentucky. That's another more chances for points. So
and it's that front court. I mean, Condon is special, Hawk is special, Chenulu. He didn't have a big game scoring points today. He was only 2 of 6 from the field, but he stacked up 10 boards. Condon had 10 boards.
Yep.
So you got 2 dudes who are easy doubles every single night.
Yeah, and their 4th big guy had 8.
Yes.
In 15 minutes of play. So that's their whole. And Flan is, he's a nice player. Xavier Lee, the transfer from, I forget which Ivy League school it is that he came, Princeton, I think.
Princeton, yep, Princeton.
Yeah. He played 30 minutes, scored 11 points, but he had some big shots, right?
Yeah.
It's all about those three. I call them 3 bigs because they're all just that. I mean, they're bigs. Chenulu is a rim protector and just a rebound vacuum. And then Condon and Hogg, what do you do? It's a 3-headed monster. But I think you guys did as well as you can play. Certainly had the right game plan. The blueprint was there. It's just, the great Mike Tyson quote, everybody's got a plan or we get punched in the mouth. It looks good on paper, and you get out there, and it doesn't always go the way you want it to go or think it's going to go. And it's tough to, it's tough to bounce back sometimes. And because Florida didn't have a great shooting game. You guys held them to under 40%. They were horrible from the 3-point line. But those rebounds, those 45 rebounds, and they were really Really good. They were pretty good at the free throw line too. So it's just the little things that matter: getting rebounds, more assists than turnovers, and hitting free throws. And you guys did good. You guys were good at the free throw line, just didn't get there as much.
Yeah, they had 33 attempts to our 20. We beat them percentage-wise, but they just hit the line so many times. And then with 50 rebounds to our 30, and then like you said, we had 8 offensive boards. They had 18. So, and I don't know what the stat was on offensive rebounds to points.
Yeah,
what they resulted in, but it was it was enough because it was just too much for us to overcome. And you talk about game plan defensively. Engage, turn them over. A team that's averaging 90 points in SEC play, damn near 90 points in SEC play, and has dropped 100 on teams like Arkansas and Alabama. We hold them to 71 points, and the offense wasn't even terrible as far as how we ran the offense. Out of those, what do we have? 23 3-point attempts. Let me go check again.
Yeah, 23.
23 3-point attempts. I would say 10 to a dozen of them were wide open attempts. I mean, wide open. And some of those were intentional. Like Yelovich, he can knock down that shot, but he's just better when he gets off the bounce. Like if they're going to give you that much space, man, I just want you to be a traditional Euro 4 and put the ball on the deck and get to the rim. And then maybe stretch them out and hit threes after that, similar to he did in the first game, the LSU game. And then, Trent Noah, he's known to be a shooter, but he has just gone ice cold since we got into SEC play. So some of those are probably intentionally left wide open, but even Colin Chandler had some open looks that he could knock down. Zell hit one late or hit one in the first half, one in the second half, I believe. But yeah, I mean, some of them were wide open. And if you just convert, we went 5 of 23. You go 7 of 23. Next thing you know, it's a 1-point ball game down at the end. You have a chance to win it. So,
in a lot of these games, because I've been talking under on a lot of these games. Both games today, I was on the under, and the Tennessee one got a little sweaty, as you know.
Yep.
But you look at a team like Florida, like you just said, I mean, they averaged 90 plus, and you guys turned them over. You won the turnover battle against Florida,
and the assist battle. We had one more assist than they did.
Yeah, so usually that's a recipe for winning, but that's one reason that I've been kind of high on these unders is completely different environment, different sight line. The rim may be stiffer. I mean, there's a blue million things that can go into why shots that normally would fall don't fall. What's crazy to me, as good of shooting as both of these teams are, Kentucky had 3 players to hit a 3. Florida only had 2.
Yeah.
So shots just weren't falling. I mean, period, for either team. And I struggle to think that it's just because, they were nervous or the defense was just so, no, because you just said it. They were getting wide open looks. They just weren't dropping. So it's tough. I mean, playing these neutral site games, it's tough. So
the team didn't look tired throughout the whole game. But I potentially the shooting woes for Kentucky are because it's the 3rd game in 3 days.
Yeah.
We didn't shoot great in the other 2 games either, though. The talk this time of year is always the new basketball, right? That's always the talk of town. Why they change up the basketball in the tournament, I don't understand.
Yeah.
It's neither team shot great, but we still had a chance to get it over. It's all about rebounding. It's what it was. You just couldn't get out rebounded by that much. We had beat teams getting out rebound before, but that's because we were shooting 40+% from the 3-point line, and 50% from the field. So
from the field, exactly. Yeah. Well, I guess not to try to put lipstick on a pig here, but a little encouraging for going forward for the next few games. At least you got some guys off the bench to get some meaningful minutes. You still, and I knew this was going to be the case before I ever looked at it. I still knew Owe was going to play a ton. He played 38 minutes. Jacoby Gillespie played 38 minutes. It's got to wear on those guys, and especially for Owe, who's played 3 games, back to back. Aberdeen had 35. So while they did get some rotation in the front court with Mo and BG, it just wasn't enough against those big monsters in there. So hopefully that those minutes translate to points, because the bench scored a whole, 22 points? Yeah, 22 points from the bench.
And both of them from Mo D.
I've been 14 of them were Mo.
Yeah. And he's going to be big for us if we make a tournament run.
Mm-hmm.
Those 2 threes, I think, are good for his confidence. I don't want him to get too, just like same as BG. I don't want him to fall too in love with the 3-point line. But
don't set up a mailbox out there.
Yeah, but they were good for his confidence. But I've been playing a little game with T. I was wondering how long he was just going to sit there quiet. What's up, dude?
Hey, I was going to let y'all carry on, man. I'm good. I'm chilling.
I like the birthday balloon in the background.
That's awesome.
Yeah, man. We got a basketball game in the morning, and then a 6th birthday party in the afternoon. So that'll be
nice.
Chaos in the house.
Yes.
Though
it'll be a busy Saturday.
It's already chaos just with my 2. Now you add in all these other rascals that's going to be here. Yeah. Pray for us.
But we'll I think we'll end the show with both of our thoughts about moving forward. But let's transition to the Tennessee game. One I think you would have liked to had. We talked Wednesday, and both of you were pretty set on the tournament doesn't advance us a seed line, probably doesn't drop us a seed line either. But once you get that one, you get a Vandy rematch. And, Nate Ament had a hell of a game in the first one back from the injury. Beating Vandy is something that is high on the want list. So how'd you think about the first game, getting a dub in Nate Ament's performance, and then going into the second game where he was able to score from the free throw line but didn't have a field goal until, 4 or 5 minutes left in the game?
Yeah.
So wrap those 2 games up and, I guess focusing on Vandy since that was the one today.
Yeah, I didn't see the first game. I can't really speak a lot to it, but I will say this, for it to be, which we don't really know how serious the injury was. But for him to come back with a questionable tag and an expected minutes restriction,
Mm-hmm.
Man, did he ball out in the first game. And then I guess they had to put an APB out for him or something. He was 1 of 13 from the floor. He made 1 basket from the field today. So I don't know. T, you could probably speak to it better than I can.
So with the Auburn game, obviously Nate went off, and he's the MVP, but I give my secondary MVP to Gillespie because of what he did on the defensive side. This is not something that we've said all year. Pettiford was going crazy. Barn and Boswell is our main guy. Boswell guards the other team's best perimeter player. I posted on X, Boswell's good, but he's not elite like we've been used to, with Yves Pons and Zakai Ziegler and Meshack, and even Triple J. We've gotten used to like elite defenders. Boswell is a good defender, not elite. So anyway, Pettiford is going crazy. Rick Barnes switched Gillespie on him in the second half, and Gillespie shut it down, which we're not used to. I don't know if he got like a challenge in the huddle to him or something, but Nate did what we needed him to do offensively, scoring wise. But that wouldn't have mattered if we weren't getting stops, and we started getting stops because Gillespie put the clamps on Pettiford. So that was just like my one takeaway from the Auburn game, like we've been getting on Gillespie kind of about his defense all year, but he shows he can do it. I just think it's hard when you got to run the entire offense and then you got to try and stop somebody defensively too. So then today, I think maybe we did see a little bit of rust from a Mint. Vandy gets very, very physical with him. Now he managed the physicality much better than he has in the past. Like he was able to get to the free throw line, where I remember it used to just be like dudes would just knock him down and he would just lose the ball. So now he's holding on to the ball and he's at least getting to the free throw line. But I think that was just kind of getting to him. What I liked is that even though he was having a bad shooting game, he was getting really, really aggressive down the stretch. Basically like, hey, if we're going to find a way, it's going to be because of me. And that's the mentality we need him to have. So he definitely has shown growth to me in that he can handle the physicality better because he found a way to become impactful by getting to the free throw line. But I think it was a mixture of fatigue, even though I was told that fatigue doesn't matter. It's a mixture of him being tired after not playing for a couple games and then going crazy yesterday, physicality, and all that. But I like his mentality, so I'll take it.
Yeah.
And yes, it would have been nice to beat Vandy, but I think I appreciate the rest more, particularly because we most likely would have just gotten run out the gym by Florida anyway. So let's just go ahead and get that other day of rest.
Yeah, I 100% agree. And keep in mind too that, Nate Amin is all but a lock to be a lottery pick in the NBA draft, right? So the fact that he's coming off injury and he's getting out there and he's pouring his heart and soul.
Yeah, he's getting after it. Yeah.
On the floor, diving on the floor, getting knocked to the floor. Just mad respect for that kid because he could easily pull the I'm gonna sit out and get ready for the NBA draft and not risk it. But it just shows what kind of competitor he is and how much he loves, Coach Barnes, his teammates, and that's huge to have guys like that, especially in today's landscape of NIL and me. The fact that he's out there still, putting it on the line for the team is outstanding. So.
Yeah, it makes me think the world of him. I mean, I've already been thinking pretty high of him, how he's responded to his struggles in the first half of the season and his growth and all that. I've already thought highly of him, but that definitely, yeah, he could pull what we think Peterson is doing or Mikael Brown is what we think Mikael Brown is doing or y'all's boy JQ, right? Yeah. What we think they're doing. He, like you said, Hammer, he could have very easily have done that. And I heard Rick Barnes say it on the interview, like we are allowing Nate to dictate how good or bad he feels and if he wants to play or not. So Nate, like you said, they asked him and he very much so could be like, oh, it's pretty sore. I don't know. But he didn't. And he was out there diving. He got knocked down again and hitting the floor. So yeah, I'm very high on him.
Yeah. Yeah, good kid. I'd love to have another year with him. I don't see any reason for him not to go if he's going to be a top 10, top 15 lottery pick. You have to go. But man, it'd be awesome to have him back another year.
But Joshy boy Boswell is not awful. It's just we're used to our primary defender being elite.
Yeah, he was awful today,
it's tough to replace Zakai Ziegler and Maychek. Like both of those dudes are super tough to replace.
Yeah, we got spoiled.
Elite. We were elite, and that's what I've been saying all year. Like everyone's like, this is not a Barnes defense. I'm like, well, it is from a effort perspective. We just don't have the on-ball talent that we're used to having. I think that's just the main difference. Again, going all the way back to Yves Pons. Like Yves Pons was an elite on-ball defender. Triple J was really, really, really good. And then obviously Zakai and Maychak. So we've just gotten used to elite guys. So a good guy he looks like he stinks. Because if you're not elite, like it's just different levels to it. So I think he's good. I'm not down on him by any means. I mean, he plays his heart out. It's just we just got to understand what we're working with, and it's just not the same defensive talent that we've had the last 7-8 years or so.
Yeah, and Josh mentioned we could have had Duke Miles. Josh, understand, Duke Miles is a career 13 points a game scorer. He was 15 points a game this year. We made him look good. We gave him all those opportunities.
Hey, that goes to my tweet, right? Like a guard just goes ham on us almost every single game.
Our ability to make opposing point guards look like John Wall and Chris Paul is mind-boggling to me. But it does go back to what I mean. T, we've been saying it since preseason. We've been saying it since non-conference play. We don't have elite defenders like we have had for the past 3 or 4 seasons. We got spoiled with those guys. So
before the dunk was legal. What's up, TBS? That is
oh man, I love it.
Yeah, and Duke Miles probably would have been a good scoring punch for us, and I think we ended up going with Abram. I think Barnes is, and that's probably why Miles wanted to go off on us today, was because he wanted to come to Tennessee. I think Barnes thought he was picking somebody who was going to be more impactful defensively, and instead just can't even get off the bench.
Yeah. So. Well, we also thought Ethan Berg was going to be a factor in basketball games.
To his credit, he is better than he was at the beginning of the year. He's not what any of us thought or any of that, but he is better. And there are flashes, right? So if he can get the mental part squared away, I mean, he shows some quickness with the ball in his hand. He's not going to cheat you effort wise. He got to get it together up here, but he is better because Barnes is putting him in the game. So he didn't give us what we needed this year, but at least he improved.
Well, and one of the things I don't know, T, if you were on when we talked about this a minute ago, Owe and Gillespie both played 38 minutes again.
It's what we said was going to happen.
Yeah.
It's exactly what we said was going to happen.
But at least we got some meaningful minutes out of some guys from the bench. They didn't do a lot to contribute, unfortunately, but at least they got some minutes and gave those guys a rest because, contrary to popular belief, fatigue does play a factor even on 20-something-year-olds. So,
yeah, Brando, I think you missed it, but I was having to have this whole debate about the fact that fatigue plays a factor in performance. And I was told that is a bogus notion because these guys we have a great strength and conditioning program and they're in the best shape of their lives. They're not robots. Like, they still get tired.
Yeah.
And
all those things might be true, but yeah, you still can't go and hammer yourself for 38 minutes. And we talked about this last year as Kentucky fans. Like, we were excited that we were having after years of just being excited for the next freshman class to come in, just to disappoint us in the postseason over the last, since 2018. We were excited to have a upper class based team, veterans, 5th-year guys who, wanted to come to Kentucky and prove themselves, and they had a lot of ball knowledge, a lot of experience, right? And that we were hoping that was going to translate to the postseason. Now, we weren't super healthy, but that goes to the point of a lot of these guys, your Lamont Butlers and Jackson Robinson's, like, they played a lot of basketball and they had to play a lot of minutes too. So now they get to their 4th, 5th year of college ball. There's a lot of wear and tear, right? So now your risk of injury is a lot higher. So I was like, we need to go get more 2nd, 3rd year guys, right, to reduce that. But these dudes got hurt before the season even started, or didn't recover from a ACL injury like we expected to. But yeah, the minutes, if you're averaging 38 minutes in SEC play, when you get to the postseason, especially in games where you got to play back-to-back or you only get a day break, I do agree they're getting paid. They need to, come and play with effort, intensity every single game. But the tank only has so much, right? Like, the mind is, you can have dudes that are just special and mentally super tough and can just fight through that. But you're not getting that out of too many 18 to 20-year-olds at this moment, right?
Yeah. Every machine has its limits.
Mm-hmm.
So it doesn't matter conditioning. It doesn't matter mental acuity. It doesn't matter whatever sport IQ. None of that matters when you're tired.
Yeah, and we're talking about Florida, and they have dudes who now this was a closer game. This game, so Condon and Hawk had to play more minutes. Boogie Flan stacks up a lot of minutes, but again, they don't expect a lot of him. We talked about this in previous episodes. Minutes aren't made equal, right? If you have Gillespie having to be your main scorer, your main assist guy, and your main on-ball defender for a lot of the game, or at least a guy you might have to go to be a shutdown guy, those minutes where you can't take a playoff are more than a Boogie Flan who's playing 35 minutes a game, but they're playing through the bigs, right? He's out there to facilitate. He's not expected to be the best defender, the best scorer, to lead the team in assists. And really that's the same. That's really that way for all Florida guards. Florida's got 4 bigs who they can rotate in and out, who can average 28, 30 minutes a game, for the starters, and the other ones can give them a good 15, 18 serviceable minutes on any given night. That's a huge benefit, especially as you push late into the season where, hey, all right, now my 4th big coming off the bench isn't going to get used a lot, but my top 3 have a lot of gas left in the tank.
Yeah. Well, to put it into let's put it into NBA terms. It's James Harden playing 30 minutes or Drew Holiday playing 30 minutes. That's a different 30 minutes.
Yep.
Yeah. Joshy boy asked you what you think the ceiling for your boys are in the tournament, Rando. What's up, Sass?
What's going on? Yeah, did your school's for fools, but I guess we appreciate you, trying to make yourself better. What's my thoughts on the tournament? Okay, let's
No. Ceiling. What is the ceiling for Kentucky?
Yeah, it's same.
No,
same
no,
thing.
no. We're not asking for wild, open thoughts.
Oh,
particular
God.
question. Ceiling. We don't need a whole diatribe. What is the ceiling for Kentucky?
We're gonna get one anyways, but
No,
I know.
I
know.
short-
I know.
You know what he'll say.
The short answer before the long answer is Elite Eight. I think is the ceiling.
I agree.
All right, now diatribe. Go ahead.
Once you get to the Elite Eight, you never know what's going to happen.
Say Final Four. I swear, I thought those words were coming out of his mouth.
But I will say, once you get to the Elite Eight, who knows what's going to happen? Depends on the matchup, right?
For ceiling, I'm okay saying that. Like ceiling is saying like everything clicks, all the stars align, everybody's playing well. Ceiling is to me is Final Four for y'all. Ceiling. Now, what is realistic is
that's on top of the roof for me.
I think I think realistic is something different. But if they're playing their best ball and they play it every single game, why not?
Yeah, I think realistically, this team can get to the Elite Eight. I think wild thoughts is that you get to the Final Four and you just absolutely blow everybody's mind based off what this team has. Like you get Cam Williams to hit those open shots that they were giving him. You get Yelovich to play great stretch 4 minutes like we thought he was going to do. And then you're the 3-headed goat, as they call themselves, in Zell, Otega-Owe, and Colin Chandler. All 3 of them are playing great ball every single night. What we have gotten is 2 of the 3 can play serviceable minutes. One of them at times will disappear. That can't happen for this team to go on a crazy rooftop, I can't believe we actually made the Final Four like we were projected to do at the beginning of the season. All 3 of them have to play well. And then you're going to have, I mentioned Cam Williams, Mo Diabate, like it's going to have to be someone new probably every single time based off the matchup to come off the bench and give you some minutes to make it so that Otega-Owe in particular, because he's the one that we lean on late in games, and he can't be dribbling the ball off his foot because he's tired, or he can't be pressing because we got to score. That's the one flaw I see in Otega-Owe's game is in some times where we either have a big lead and can just play smart and push through, or games where it's close. Sometimes he presses and he takes bad shots. He tries to there's a fine line in Otega Oweh's game between being aggressive and being out of control. And games that we've lost are because he's gotten to the out of control piece and doesn't just let the offense come to him. So in the long response, I just gave you a lot of things that have to come together for this team to make a Final Four.
Yeah.
But if we get a back end 6 seed or a top 7 seed, I do think we match up well and can get to a Sweet 16. And then it's, again, once you get there, we've had a little bit of rest. I do think Pope is great when it comes to game planning, especially in these moments where you don't have a lot of time. There's not a lot of familiarity with teams, and he can put together a very good game plan and put us in an opportunity to win. It's, do we have the players on the team, right? Do we have the horses in the stable to actually get it done? And I think the answer is yes. Unfortunately, I'm saying that based off not really consistently seeing it from all 3 of our main scoring guards that we have available right now.
Well, Joshy Boy clearly doesn't care what we think, Hammer. But what do you think is the ceiling for us?
I've said since probably mid-conference season, the ceiling for this team is the Sweet 16, and that's a hard, solid sheetrock ceiling, not a drop ceiling with tiles. Absolute Sweet 16 as far as we can go.
So all the stars align. We get in a good bracket. Gillespie's hitting, Nate's hitting, Estrella's hitting, and the best we can do is Sweet 16.
Yes.
I don't think so. I think ceiling, again, not what I think is realistic, but just if everything played out perfectly, I think we could see the Elite Eight again. I don't think it's going to happen, but I think it could. I mean, Nate has shown an ability to carry the team offensively when needed, and when he can do that, that allows Gillespie to expend more energy defensively and creating for others. We know Estrella's got that good jump hook and all. I don't think the Final Four is our ceiling, but or at least not this year. Something about that Elite Eight, man. Ever since TJ Ford and them at Texas, Barnes has not been able to clear that Elite Eight. But what I think is likely is either the second or third round.
Second round could very well, depending on the draw. The tournament, and we can go back to even.
Does this include Yeah, that's true. You include the Vols.
Here's the latest bracket prediction from Andy Katz. I just pulled up the one. I think Andy Katz is respectable. You probably go, but he's got you playing. He's got you playing the winner of the SMU Indiana playing game. You beat either one of those teams. I think
I think so.
Either one of those teams, I don't think they have especially Indiana. SMU they both have a guy who can do well, but they don't have a team collective to beat you. Here's the problem. You would play the 3 seed Iowa State.
Yep.
You don't win that game.
Nope. And that's why I said, like, what's realistic to me is second or third round.
Yeah. It'll just depend on which region we end up in, but the reason that I respectfully disagree with T in this one is because the NCAA tournament's all about guard play. We saw even a Purdue team with Foul Ming, the free throw merchant, getting 87 free throw attempts a game. They couldn't get there. Not that Braden Smith isn't a good guard. It's just he's not an elite guard. He scores a lot. He's not an elite guard. We don't have a second guard. We don't have a backup point guard, and we have no 2 guard at all. That's my concern with us. I don't think a first round exit is realistic. That's some pretty bad. That's some pretty desperate bad juju for people that are saying that we won't even win a game, and I just absolutely don't believe that. But I can't see us getting past. I can't see us getting past the Sweet 16 because even if something crazy happens in the second week, or excuse me, the second game, that second weekend, we're not going to play a mid-major. We're not going to play a middle-of-the-pack Power 4 conference team. We're going to play a legit top 20 Ken Palm big boy. And we don't have
you're talking what's realistic, right? Because I'm 100% with you on that. I don't think Sweet 16, even 32 is what I think is realistic.
32 depends on the draw, the match.
Yeah, but I don't think under
any
ceiling,
circumstance we can win a Sweet 16 game. I just don't. We don't have.
When I hear ceiling, I think pretty extreme. But I don't. When I'm talking ceiling, I'm not talking like what I think is reality. I just want to make sure I make that clear. I don't think we're about to do that. I'm just saying I think that would be the ceiling.
Yeah.
I mean, because and it was obviously it was early in the year, but we beat Houston, right? Like we showed we could beat an elite team. But yeah, I just don't think I don't think at this point in the season it's gonna happen.
Yeah.
Because we don't have the scoring punch, and the Joshy boy's point earlier, and as you and I have lamented all year, besides Gillespie and Ament, nobody can create a shot. Except for our guys in the post. And we were kind of forcing it to the post a little bit more today, but we don't force it to the post enough. So yeah, we don't have the wing or backcourt scoring prowess needed to realistically carry us anywhere, in my opinion.
Yeah, that's 100% true. TVS said Booper would score 50. Yeah, he would. I mean, absolutely.
Probably just with his left hand too.
Yeah. I think I just think we're in for a tough. I mean, dude, seriously. I mean, if we do draw somebody, SMU or Indiana wouldn't necessarily fit that bill. But if we do draw a team that has good guard play in the first round, I'm going to be nervous. I don't care who it is.
Yep.
Vermont would scare me in the first round.
I'm trying to look at, all right, so if you guys are a 6, so what are other 11s? Missouri is potentially a 6. I'm sorry, an 11. So Missouri is potentially an 11.
They just beat us.
Well, VCU could be an 11. That one really scares me.
Texas VCU play in potentially.
Yep.
Santa Clara, not worried about them. So yeah, who knows? So looking at NCAAT's bracket right now, they have Kentucky as a 7 playing UCF. Not an easy game.
Is what's his face from Duke still the coach there? Johnny Dawkins.
I'm not sure who the head coach is. Who the head coach is
at Central Florida.
Yeah. It's still Johnny Dawkins.
Yeah. He's
but they do have Jordan Burks, who was a former Cat under Pope, went to Georgetown and then transferred to UCF. He's good. He is good, and he'll have some extra motivation to play Kentucky. And then our 2C would be UConn. So really, in my opinion, and I'm being very realistic here, I think UConn is a winnable game for Kentucky. I think we match up well with them. But I would rather have Illinois as a 2 seed. I think if we get past the first one, I'd rather play Illinois. They play now if they're shooting well, they play like a very finesse game.
They do,
but I do think
they do and they don't. They're pretty physical defensively. Offensively, they don't really pound you because they're all huge, but they all just stand on the perimeter. But defensively, they beat us up pretty good.
Yeah, but it's just match up there. I think that's our best bet. Either you play, we would play a St. Louis as a 7 and then an Illinois, or you play UCF and then UConn to get to the Sweet 16. Because I don't want to play Houston, because we struggle so bad rebounding the basketball. I wouldn't, if I knew we could stay even with them rebounding, I wouldn't mind playing Houston because we could have a bad shooting night and still have a chance to beat them, right? You can't have a bad shooting night against UConn and still have a chance to beat them. I think they score the basketball too well. And we just talked about Illinois. That they do have a pretty good offense. Houston can go on very long droughts, especially if you can shut down Fleming without scoring the ball. The problem is they will kill you. They would kill us on the boards. And they're not overly big. They just fight. They hustle. We'd have to put a pay it. That we'd have to be. I wouldn't hate the matchup, but I wouldn't feel great about it. And it sucks. And this is what happens when you are a 6-7 seed. It's like you're sitting there praying for a right draw, and hope you can get lucky. And it wouldn't be the first time 6, 7, 8 seed went on a run and did some upsets. We've seen Kentucky do it. UConn has done it on a way to a title. So it ain't like it hadn't been done before. It's just you put yourself in a real tough spot.
Yeah.
I missed Joshua Boy saying Iowa State would run us off the court. You are correct.
Yes. Right. Yeah. Or they'd put us through the court. One of the two.
Yeah.
Did you say this is Andy Katz, right? Did you say that he had St. Louis as a 10 seed?
An 11, I believe. Let me pull this up.
If you bumped up to the 6th line, you would play them.
No, you're right. St. Louis is a 10 seed. 7,
no way.
7 Miami, St. Louis 10, playing in St. Louis.
Mm-mm. I don't see them being a 10 seed.
Higher or lower?
They should be no more than a 12.
Man, Houston is smacking Kansas right now. Darren Peterson is playing.
Yeah. Yeah. Houston, when they decide they want to play, they're scary. But, yeah, I mean, for what it's worth, I've got –
God, if we could somehow sneak into a 6 seed, it becomes so much – like the difference between who you play between the 2s and 3s.
Oh, yeah.
And Hammer, I think you started the show off early in the show. You were talking about that. It's a massive – like I wouldn't mind a rematch against Bama, like on a neutral side. I wouldn't mind that. We could get run out, but I think again because they are so bad defensively, we can be physical with them and turn them over and out rebound them and those things. I think Kentucky can beat that team.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that. And
Purdue, give me Purdue again. I'll take them again. Nebraska, yeah. The only one I wouldn't want to play is Iowa State. That's the only 3 seed I'd be like, you don't let us play them.
Yeah. Gonzaga is not going to go far in this tournament.
They're projected 4 by any cats. You feel that's right?
Joshua Boy,
if Virginia wins the ACC, they will be the 3. Gonzaga will fall back to the 4. But I have Gonzaga as a 4 right now.
Lenardi has SLU. He has SLU as a 9. St. Louis as a 9.
I don't see him being that high. I could be 100% wrong because this is not my necessarily forte, but I don't have him that high.
He has us as a 5 in the West, which would put us against Yale in his, and then we would play the winner of Virginia and Utah Valley. I'd be happier with that than Iowa State.
Yeah. Very much
but
so.
Virginia's obviously
tough. But Virginia will smack us too.
I'm not trying to sleep on it or anything, but I would still take that.
Just match up, over Iowa State for sure.
Matchup wise,
I'm telling you, man,
than Iowa State.
I don't know. I just have and I could be completely wrong. I think we have a shot at a back end 6 seed, and I do think you guys have a shot at a 5. I said that last show, and y'all didn't think so.
No, I don't think so after today.
Yeah, maybe not. Yeah, maybe this was the win you had to have.
I think depending on what happens in the ACC tournament with Miami, Clemson, and then also I think with UCLA can muddy this up.
Lenardi has UCLA as an 8.
Yeah, and that's kind of where I thought they were coming into it, but
he has y'all as a 7. So in you would play Santa Clara, and then you would play the winner of Iowa State and Siena.
Yeah. See, I've got Kentucky at a 6 and Louisville at a 7, and I know a lot of people have it the other way around. But with no Brown, I can't.
He has Louisville as a 6. I thought Brown was sitting out until the tournament. Is he not playing?
That's what they're saying. That's what they're saying. But I think they have to say that, right? I don't know. I don't have the history of the NCAA committee. I just don't have the knowledge. But we do know the college football committee takes players playing or not playing into heavy account, right?
Rightfully so.
Yeah, and I think I think the narrative has to be Mikel Brown is just waiting to come back from the NCAA tournament so they don't get dropped the seed line. Maybe if they're like, oh, this team is not good without Mikel Brown. They're okay with him. They are not good without him. So whether he plays or not is to be determined. But
Clemson getting smoked by Duke. Duke's got somebody hurt too, right?
Yeah,
their main guard.
Yeah. So is the other Boozer brother? Is he starting now since the guard is hurt?
I think Cam or what's the other one? Cam Boozer and
I don't know their names.
It's somebody. It's Cam and something. Cade. Yeah, okay. Cade Boozer. I think he's a point guard.
He is.
He's a guard.
I thought the dude they lost was a 2 guard.
I don't know, but I'm still not surprised that they're smoking Clemson. Clemson hasn't been that good this year, have they?
They played well as of late, but
okay.
They're not even on the same. They're not breathing the same air that Duke is.
No. Sure, yeah, but that's 99% of the country.
True.
Besides the other 1 seeds, pretty much.
Yeah, you can count them on one hand.
Yeah,
how many people can play with that team?
Is Oklahoma in if they win tonight? Who are they playing? Who's Oklahoma playing?
They're beating Arkansas right now.
If they beat Arkansas, they're in.
Yeah, a win over Arkansas, I think, is the right look. I think that gets them in.
Yeah, they'll get in if they beat Arkansas. I would think absolutely.
Caleb Foster's the dude that got hurt. Let's see. He said he's only averaging 8.5 points a game. But if I remember him correctly, he is a very good 3-point shooter. Yeah, 48.5% from 3.
Ooh, that's strong.
Oh, I'm sorry. That's his field goal percentage. 42% from 3. Still pretty good.
Still good. Yeah.
Yeah, still good. All right. Well, I guess so. That's our thoughts. 6-7 for Kentucky. So I had to do it. Jackson would be proud.
So glad my kids didn't hear that.
Oh, Lord. Yeah, that's not even on my radar. So
lucky you.
5-6 for Tennessee. Most likely 6 for Tennessee, 7 for Kentucky. What are your thoughts on the folks that are going to get left out? I think Auburn's out with you all beating them would be my guess.
Yeah, they're out. They're part of that first 4 out, in my opinion.
I think Mizzou is going to sneak in, even though they didn't beat us. I think they still have a 55-60% chance per the analytics to get in. So I think they sneak in from the SEC. I think if Miami, Ohio wins that tournament, Auburn maybe sneaks in. But what are your thoughts on Miami, Ohio? I think they're a tournament team. They only lose 1 game. I know they haven't played a lot of competition, but they get to their conference. I don't think they should be a high seed, but I do think they at least should get in the dance. Do you have any strong thoughts about them not making it in there? And is there a power conference team that you think should get in above them, even though the record doesn't stand out as as deserving?
No, you reward them. I mean, they beat who was in front of them. It is a kind of a weak look because they got no quad 1 wins and 1 quad 4 loss, I think. But that was just the conference championship. But a 30-1 record or whatever it is, you gotta reward them for that. They beat who was in front of them.
My only issue with that is they had an opportunity to schedule better competition in non-conference play and chose not to. But I do tend to agree. You go undefeated in the regular season, that it shouldn't come down to 1 bad game in a conference tournament. So I say put them in, and somebody will beat them in the first round. Wisconsin or I don't know, BYU or somebody.
Or let them and Auburn do a play-in game real quick.
Yeah. Well, or even in Indiana. I don't know that Indiana's a tournament team.
Yeah, I thought they were out. And
Andy Katz has them in as a 10. Yeah, I thought Indiana was out too. I'm surprised that he has them in as a play-in team.
Yeah, I don't think Indiana's. I don't think they should be there.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if they made Miami, Ohio play in at this point. Now that they lost, if they made him 11 seed, one of the 11 play-ins.
That's kind of how I feel about it, honestly. I think, that's great what you've done. It's a great story.
Yeah.
Undefeated regular season. It's been, great for the kids, and very few teams at any level of basketball can say that they've done that. But it prove you belong.
Where in North Carolina are you going to be at, Joshy boy? That's my second favorite state after Tennessee.
And he's going to the casino. I'm sure you've already told them, but if you're in a state you can gamble, you got a first round Thursday, Friday lock hammer. I guess you can't have one because you don't know what the bracket is.
No, not yet.
We'll have one Sunday maybe.
Florida will cover. How's that?
Whoever they play. Yeah.
Doesn't matter. It'll be like the Utah State School of Forestry or somebody, and they'll beat them by 40.
Yeah.
Hurrahs. Don't we have those out in around Pendleton? I'm pretty sure we did like a dining in after our deployment at a Hurrahs.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Harris is usually the Native American gaming company of choice. Caesars owns Harris, so they got a representation too. But yeah, Harris is pretty popular with the tribal folks.
Yeah,
the big one out here is was it? I'm gonna say it's wrong. Pachanga.
Oh yeah. We did our ball at Pachanga, but I'm pretty sure we did a dining in after our last deployment at a Harris out there somewhere. But no matter.
I don't casino. I don't know because slot machines are boring, and I don't know how to play cards, so I normally don't. If I'm gonna gamble, it's gonna be on sports, which is something I think I know. Probably don't, but at least I have my mind tells me you know what you're doing here. You can throw money on that.
Well, at least you have somewhat of an educated guess. It's not just left to some random algorithm.
Yeah, I actually this is not related to our show, but I have a tabletop exercise at a casino out here Tuesday for an active shooter response. And
nice. That's a hell of a place to do it.
I'm gonna just tell you this: they are not prepared, and I'm pretty sure it's gonna be a disaster. but I'm just here to help them out, so we'll see what we can do.
We're doing one on Pendleton in a month too, and as the lead law enforcement representative for the installation, I shouldn't feel the same, but just leave it at that.
Strip clubs and pawn shops near all the Marine Corps installations.
Yeah,
that hits harder in Lejeune than it does in Pendleton. But yes, in Lejeune, they're definitely there.
Most of them jokers around here are on the restricted list now.
Yeah,
too much, weird, illegal drug stuff going on down here, being next to the border. So they just say don't go. And they got people that hang out, and they know it's like you walk in looking like this, like, yep, we know you're not supposed to be here. Come here.
Yep, and
stand out like a sore thumb.
Driftwood didn't got too many people caught up. So
oh yeah.
Oh wow! Don't look now. UCLA, Michigan State, 86-84. 6 seconds left in the game.
Oh shoot!
Ooh, should have had that bad boy on.
Yeah, I just now caught. It.
And why is Randall trying to set me and TVS up, tagging individuals, trying to get them to respond to us?
Hey, you were coming at us, man. I had to just be like, listen.
I was not. You're whoever that BBN dude was just going crazy on TVS. So I was like, all right, let's calm this down.
TVS knows what he's doing. He's one of the best at getting BBN spun up. He's like Robert McBall, man. Both of them. They're very good at what they do.
He gets after UGA pretty good too.
Yeah, and I can't wait to see what he's cooked up for tonight, because we went into the dog pound and took their bone.
Oh yeah, he already hit him up with like did y'all even know that y'all had a game tonight? And
yeah,
he's already been getting after him. It's pretty good. It's good stuff.
Oh, he just knocked down both free throws, 4-point game.
Oh,
game. And a turnover. Donovan didn't turn over. Oh boy. Wow.
Oh, I don't even want to hear the word.
God, I would have loved for that dude to have been a cat, man.
I don't even want to hear the word free throws.
Yeah, really.
Yeah. Michigan State.
I mean, we are absolutely heinous at free throws. It blows my mind. I don't get it.
Yeah, and that was, we talked about it very early in the season that turnovers and free throws is something you can't really fix in season, and boy, they sure haven't. We've had a couple bright spots where we've shot 70-75% here and there, but consistently it's in the 50s, man, and that is so painful.
Yeah, and then on the turnover spot, I mean, we still got Boswell and Berg and stuff, and Amari Evans throwing passes from these ridiculous angles. Like you don't make that pass like ever.
Yeah.
And there was one, and I can't even remember if it was Boswell or Berg or even Evans, but they were at like the top of the key, but even closer to half court, and try to direct line pass all the way down to the block.
Yeah.
What are we doing?
Yeah.
So, yeah,
it's been very frustrating and uncharacteristic of what we got spoiled with over the last 3 or 4 years. But still, man, it's so frustrating because those are just basic price of entry to play basketball fundamentals that you can't do and expect to win.
I agree. Now, I will say we saw a massive leap from Boswell between last year and this year, right?
Yeah.
And I guess we don't actually know because he didn't play last year, but that's what we're seeing, right? We're seeing what we think is a massive jump from him. So let's expect another one because he definitely seems like he's got that Admiral Schofield type work ethic. So and then we can expect some good development from Amari Evans, hopefully, right? And maybe Berg keeps developing. I don't know. I'm trying to be optimistic.
I got a lot more confidence in Amari Evans than I do Ethan Berg. I'll say that.
All right, so is Boswell actually a good defender? Because I watched a lot of Tennessee basketball, mainly just so I can come on here and talk to y'all about it. I mean, the dude's got to average 4.5 fouls a game. And I always make fun of folks like you tell me you can't play defense, I'll look how many fouls you got. That just tells me you can't. Now, maybe he's just overly aggressive. He is a good defender. I don't know. But when I watch him, I'm just like, that boy collects fouls at a cyclic rate.
He is a good defender. He is not an elite defender, but he gets the elite defender assignments. So he's going against Phylon, Pettiford, you name, all those guys who are elite. So, and so I think he's just a little bit outmatched. And so he can't help but foul. And so he's got to get handsy a little bit sometimes to try to compensate a little bit. So he is a good defender. He gives you the effort. He's strong. He's 6'4", so he's got good enough size. But he's not elite. But he's having to take on the elite matchup. So I think he's just a little bit outmatched.
So I'll end the show here talking about, I don't know if you guys have seen it, but there was some stuff put out by KSR today and some other folks who cover Kentucky basketball. There was going to be a special guest in Nashville today, someone who I think the quote was something like who Kentucky wanted in blue and white. And a lot of folks assumed that was going to be a recruit. No young buck in the stands today, but there was Tayshaun Prince. Kentucky is looking for a GM. There was an individual who was linked to a role at Kentucky for a guy that worked for Pope at BYU, but like a player development NIL guy. So not really fitting the mold of GM, or at least I don't think he has a resume for GM. But Tayshaun Prince, potentially, who I think has a lead office role with the Grizzlies right now.
I think that's who he finished his career with, so that would make sense.
Right? Is he vice president of basketball operations, or he's got some? I'm gonna Google that right now so I can.
That's what I was doing.
Yeah. All right. Boom. Yeah. Okay. So Google tells you as a 2026, Tayshaun Prince serves the VP of basketball affairs for Memphis Grizzlies, a role he's had since 2019. So he's a cat Obviously, had a great NBA career, and now is got a front office role. Now, vice president of basketball affairs. I'm assuming that's like talent management, talent assignment. I don't know.
I hate when y'all send out people that I just really, really like. Like I really, really liked Tayshaun Prince. I loved Rondo. Like I'm big on Book. I hate it. Like half the dang league is Kentucky guys, so I'm gonna end up liking some of them.
Yeah,
but yeah, I really like.
Yes, Arkansas fans, they're Arkansas guys.
Yeah.
Oh my God, nothing rage based a Kentucky fan when you put Bam Adebayo in an Arkansas jersey and hashtag Pro Hog. I'm like, shut up, dude. Y'all suck so bad. You got nobody in the league. You got to claim this. Our dudes. Which I know what they're doing. They're doing it just so they can get me spun up, and they do a very good job at it.
Do they have anybody in the league right now? Or is Joe Johnson their last guy?
He's still in Indiana.
No, Joe. I'm talking. Is anybody in the NBA from Arkansas?
While you look that up, so Google tells me the vice president of basketball affairs oversees league-wide basketball matters, including rule development, officiating, game procedures, and player discipline. I don't know if that makes you a good GM or not, but I'll be happy if Tayshaun Prince is back.
I'm Kentucky. And I'm sorry for the disrespect. My bad. Moses Moody, and then how could we forget Bobby Portis?
Bobby Portis Jr.
Can't forget Bobby Portis, and then Jordan Walsh. There's some other guys, but those are some ones we should have thought of at the time. I think.
Well, just me there. I mean, that's pretty much the ceiling for an Arkansas grad is a hot dog vendor.
I met a hot dog vendor at an NBA game in Detroit.
Well, we'll go ahead and wrap this up. We'll get on here, and we're gonna try to have a big show on Sunday with the reveal, 6 p.m. Eastern. We did it last year; it had good results. I might even put out some DMs and see if we want a Louisville guy on here, since ours isn't going to be here. And AB was with us last year. I don't know if you remember his soul being taken from him when he saw a 9 seed and he had to play Creighton. It was just like, what? Hey.
He already knew what was about to happen.
Yep. That's all right. Yep. Beating Creighton is not for everybody, AB. It's okay.
Yeah. It is not. Winning tournament games isn't for everybody. And old PK is struggling with that, man.
Yeah.
But all right, Joe. Yeah, we'll get that out. We'll get a post out and we'll get it planned. We won't do a happy hour Saturday show. We're going to throw everything into the bracket reveal on Sunday, and we'll see where it comes out and what the draw leads, and then I think we'll have a better realistic assessment of what our ceiling might be. But yeah, boys, I appreciate you coming on.
All right, yeah, I gotta jump because this individual right here.
He said it's time. It's birthday time.
Is wilding. Yeah.
Pay attention to me. But
yeah.
All right, y'all. We appreciate you joining in. We will see you Sunday. Come talk ball with us for our bracket reveal show. As always, State Line Code, all UK Ball 25.
Go Big Orange.
Heavy Pour Sports. You jumped the gun on that one, but it's okay. Oh, he was really out. I am not waiting for you to give you a spiel. Heavy Pour Sports merch, bluegrass-elite.com, HPS 15% off, free shipping. Go get your stuff. We got some football merch coming out here over the summer that's going to be pretty dope that I'm working on. So I'm excited for that. So go visit the site. Come check us out Sunday. Go Cats.
Go Vols.
Peace. And get ready for the outro. Bam.